I'm spitting hymns, synonyms, open gyms, never miss the rim. These pockets fat but moving like they slim. I got a big heart, little Tim. You have to understand I'm him, the boy is him. Yeah, the boy is him. I ain't traffic, way I'm moving, pushing whips just like a pimp, rock and roll life. Even bands cannot make me flip. I'm sticking to the script as I'm trying.
Welcome to the show, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yes, sir. Thank you, buddy.
I start every episode the same way. Who are you?
I am Fed One, comic here in Austin, trying to do the thing. Just moved from San Diego a few months ago. And yeah, man, making people laugh. That's what it's all about, dude.
Yeah, how long have you done comedy for now?
Just a little bit over 4 years now.
Okay, 4 years. Damn. So, what's the longest set you've gotten to do?
The longest set I've done is like 30 minutes. I haven't had a chance to do anything longer, but I feel like 30 minutes for me right now is probably the sweet spot anyways. Yeah. I would say I've got like 30 minutes of really good material, so that's a good spot to be in. If you were to give me more than that right now, there would be some jokes that probably are still kind of in the works. May or may not work, but the 30 minutes for sure is going to strike.
I feel like there's like an interesting spectrum out here of just different styles of comedy. Because it's like time to substance ratio. Like it's like, I'm sure I could go on stage and yap for 45 minutes and at least put on somewhat of a show. And there might be some this in the show. But like, that doesn't necessarily mean I have 45 minutes of comedy. You know?
Sure, yeah.
I don't know. I think I need to get, like, I feel like I can talk forever. Like I can tell stories and just talk. So I'm trying to do the opposite of what most people are doing and try to like actually work in jokes that are more punchy, like right away.
Okay.
Because that's kind of what I've been having trouble with. And like, I think all of it stems down to like my music. Like it's like I make music to be double entendre based or like have double meaning or like Goosebumps Walk Away. And I struggle to change the difference between like hard and funny. And that's what I struggle with a lot.
So you're kind of going into comedy with like a rap mentality is what you're saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad thing. I actually think there's a lot of music and comedy kind of go hand in hand. I mean, that's why like in some shows, like in between comics, when they're bringing up the next one, there's some music kind of playing. Also, like some bigger comics will have musicians play before they get on stage too. So I actually think that music and comedy kind of go well together.
Yeah.
But as far as like going into it with a rapping mentality, I mean, it could be a whole nother thing that people haven't seen before. So it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just realizing when you need to separate the two.
Yeah.
Because like Kill Tony does a great job of like the band being funny.
Right.
Like the band makes that like fit. Right. And a lot of comedians, I would say there's like 4 types of comedians archetypes. There's obviously more, but I would say like broad style, there's 4. There's like extremely dry sarcasm humor.
Okay.
There's like storytelling, like misdirection humor.
Okay.
Then there's like characters and impressions type of thing. And then there's cadence deliverance. And I think like those are like the most common archetypes you see. And I like to think I'm a cadence deliverance type of comedian. Like I could say wild shit, but it's all dependent on my facial expressions and my delivery and the way I'm controlling the crowd with my movement, stuff like that. Versus like maybe like a punchy, just like dry, like quiet, well-spoken, you know, type of comedy. Because it's like that's kind of like my polar opposite, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know if there's 4, but I would definitely say those 4 are probably pretty common ones that I see often too. I don't know. I feel for me, I guess comedy is just so subjective to each person.
Yeah.
I don't really kind of put any restrictions on it. I just think anyone could be funny at any given moment. And we really just don't know what's funny till we try it in front of people and see how it goes. You know, like I personally never thought that having music in comedy was funny. And then when I started doing comedy, I met people that would have like a guitar and they would do like little kind of musicals during their set and they would incorporate jokes with it and they would sing but then tail off with a punchline and then go back to singing and playing the guitar. And then I started to laugh and I'm like, okay, so
yeah, it can be funny.
Really just don't know till it's tried. So like even earlier when you were saying like rap and music separating the two, like what if combining the two works and you never know?
I don't want to do that.
But all I'm saying is you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not saying like, go do that and change up your thing. But
Yeah.
like one day somebody could come and start, rhyming and doing this really cool fucking verse, and then all of a sudden at the end of the verse they hit you with a punchline.
I think the closest I would get to that is like a KC Rocket type set.
Right.
Like he's just sporadically like, like, and he's
I
just
think that's cocaine.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but I think that there's also a level of just that was kind of his thing. Like, even if it wasn't drug related all the time, like, think he just had that, like, because you see different levels of like his consistency when he was a regular, and like, you could tell, bro. Like, you could tell when people are wilding versus when people are just kind of like in the mode, in the flow state. And that was the thing with Uncle Laser. Uncle Laser was so fucking funny when he had his highs. But like, there was days you just didn't know which Uncle Laser you were going to get. Yeah. And bro's mad talented. But like, I don't care who the fuck you are. You walking hungover, pissed drunk. You're not going to be as funny as you were the night before when you were just maybe smoking a little weed.
Yeah.
Like.
KC Rocket's a funny character. I mean, he's got it all, man. He's got the stage movement, the presence, and he's a quick hitter and all that stuff. He's good, man. He's actually really funny. Kind of like the way he paces back and forth, dude. It just kind of reminds me of like those homeless people in downtown that are just like about to come up to you and ask you for $1. Like he's just on a mission, bro. Like he's each time he turns the corner, I'm like, oh, he's about to go ask somebody for $1, bro.
The advice that you gave me on Monday night when you were talking about like opening to a crowd, basically, or like addressing a crowd in a way that kind of shows the opposite of maybe where your punchline's going in a way,
Yeah.
I think KC Rocket's character makes it so he never has to do that. Like he's just moving, so everyone's just like, what the fuck is this idiot doing? What the hell? Yeah. And then they're already intrigued. So it's like whatever he says, they're expecting something wild. Bro's already fucking done 1,000 steps in the first 12 seconds he's been on stage.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when you establish, if you can establish what kind of comedy you're doing simply just by your actions.
Yeah.
I mean, that's such a huge advantage to be in. But it's just, there's probably not a lot of people out there that thought the way he's doing comedy would be funny.
Yeah.
And then he did it, and then it's funny as shit.
It's also really strange when you realize that there's a lot of comedy that's literally tailor-made for Kill Tony.
Right.
Versus like a lot of like, bro, my friend was on the show recently. This dude said retarded, and then there was a pop in the crowd. Like, bro, what? Like, he didn't even think that was a pop. Like, he was just talking and said retarded.
Right.
And then people were like, oh, like, bro, like, it's a fucking schizophrenic audience. You know what I mean?
I think the word retarded is just funny. And I think us, as people forget what's funny. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I understand like we're in a different time and age and people got to be careful about how they say certain things and all that. But when you're in comedy and when you go to a show where you're expecting to be entertained to laugh, like that's the whole purpose of going to a comedy show is like, hey, I'm buying this ticket because I want to try and laugh, right? So that may mean that we're going to take words that may be considered taboo and try to use them in a funny way.
That makes sense.
Because that just like, when a kid, when you tell them, hey, farty pants, and they start laughing, right? Because to them, farting is like a taboo word, right? Just like with us as adults, retard is our adult word, it's our adult fart.
It's always crazy to see words be adapted over society's timeline, and people don't want to admit that things change, but like then they refer to things as change.
Yeah.
Like I have a bit about women talking about how bad it was for them in history, and then they talk about how the most chivalrous times are behind us.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wait, which is it? Was it horrible or was it chivalrous?
Yeah.
Because it can't be both.
Right.
And like I just think like obvious extremes like just aren't spoken about. It's like racism. Like it's like, bro, just because you say something wild doesn't make you racist. What makes you racist is disassociation with another race or thinking you're better.
Right. Or to boil it even simpler is intent.
Yeah.
What was the intent of what you said?
Yes.
Was the intent an attempt to make people laugh without no ill intent behind it? Or was the intent for you to send a message? Right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes I feel like comics forget that on stage. Like, you're not here to make a statement. You're here to make people laugh.
Yeah.
And so when you try to flirt with racism, which again, racism can be funny. And I think I live and breathe that every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you could do a lot of funny things with race, right? Including your own race. But if you go up there and there is no intent to make it funny, you're just kind of saying something to say something, or you thought by, saying the N-word, you were going to get some pop for just saying it or something like that. It's like, no, that's not going to work.
That's stupid.
You know what I mean?
Hold on, let me try again. Wait. That's retarded.
That is it. Listen, I'm a sucker for weak laughs. You know what I mean? Low hanging fruit's my thing. So you're gonna say retarded, it's gonna tickle me, dude. I'm gonna laugh.
I just don't understand like how that's crazy. Like how it's unheard of to just think. Like obviously you could tell if someone's racist based upon how they carry themselves.
Absolutely.
You walk into a room as a white guy with 7 black dudes that are your good friends. Yeah. And y'all are talking shit and they're making ginger jokes, they're making Jew jokes, they're making this and that, whatever. And I make one joke back to them, all of a sudden I'm a fucking piece of shit. Yeah. Like, bro, like comfortability is a thing. Yeah. People speak differently. It's like in relationships, people don't mind their own fucking business. Like someone might call their girl and then might talk wild to each other. And it's completely normal. Like they might yell at each other and whatever, and that's like their love language. It's just normal. And some people are always sweet with their girl, and some people make fun of that. Some people are like, bro, like why the fuck you turn into a bitch every time a girl walk into the room?
Yeah, I mean, I think the N-word is definitely a hot topic. I mean, that's a tough one because we're obviously 2 non-black people talking about the N-word.
Oh,
so
I'm not
sure
even talking
nobody
about
cares about our opinion.
I wasn't even talking about the N-word. I was just talking about racism in general.
Yeah. Well, and if you go to just racism, and if you're just referring to racism, again, intent. Everything's all about intent, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I've had a lot of people call me a terrorist, a camel, whatever, because I'm Middle Eastern. But the intention behind it was just to try and get a laugh, and I laugh. You know what I mean?
It's funny.
Funny.
It better be funny though.
Yeah.
Like it's like literally there's not whose fucking bit is it? Oh, Shane Gillis. Shane Gillis has a bit about how everything has a funniest.
Right.
Everything. He goes, come on, someone in the crowd name something. And everybody's pussy, nobody says anything. And he's like, all right. School shooters.
Right.
He's like, there's a funniest school shooter. He's
and
like,
of course the white comic would bring up school shooting right off the bat.
And then he goes, fine, I got another one. Presidential assassinations. Like he's like, if someone got shot, who would be the funniest? And he goes, I think it might be Trump. Like, he'd be like talking shit, probably calling someone a fag. And then like he'd make a funny noise. He'd be like, ugh. And he was like, I wrote that joke before Biden was in office. And I think Biden's assassination might be funnier because he's the first president in human history you could punch assassinate.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's
fucking awesome.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. And what'd be crazier is like if you punch him and then he like comes back to reality. Because right now he's in dementia mode. So like if you punch him, then he just comes back and he's like, wait, what am I doing?
Dude,
why am I president?
I can't believe they argued about how good they are at golf on live TV on a debate. That shit was a South Park episode.
Well, it's just, I mean, that's just what happens when you put 2 old ass white people in a room together. Like, first of all, most people don't even realize, like Joe Biden and Donald Trump, when they were kids and they had grandparents, their grandparents were probably involved in some form of slavery. You know what I mean? Like, they're old. So, like, their grandparents are, much older. So, it's like their environment that they grew up in, I would imagine, is a different environment where maybe not even necessarily that they were involved with slaves, but just at a time where maybe talking down about people wasn't frowned upon.
Yeah.
It was in a different time.
I mean, even on another level, both of them have lived a lifestyle that's already disassociated with popular understanding.
Right.
Because they grew up rich.
Right.
And it wasn't like, oh, we live in like a fucking nice neighborhood and went to fucking public school. It was like they were already billionaire wealthy.
Right.
At 18.
Right.
At 20.
Right.
So it's like,
and I just you brought up like retard earlier, right? Like I'm at an age, I'm 32, where like growing up, retard was hilarious. Nobody cared. You know what I mean? Like I heard teachers say retard and nobody would ever like get upset. But now we're at a point in time where when you say that, everybody gets upset, right?
I wonder who's
context.
I wonder who like was the first people to like decide that was wrong. Because at one point it was normal, like to call a special needs person retarded was the word they use for special needs.
It's always white women.
I'm saying who though? Like there had to be
white
like,
women. I'm telling you, dude. The white women always complain about everything, dude.
Yeah.
Even things that don't pertain to them, they gotta. I feel like white women just itch for a cause. You know what I mean? Like they want something to fight for, even if there's nothing to fight for. And I think with retard, like people start thinking of actual people that have like disabilities. It's like, well, first of all, if that's your fault if you associate the word retard with those types of people all the time, right? But like for you and me, I'm just gonna call you a retard because if we say, hey, let's smoke weed together, you bring the weed, I bring the supplies to roll it up, and then you just don't bring the weed. Like, that's pretty retarded.
I would say South Park had the best retard episode.
When doesn't South Park have the best episode, dude?
Bro, they did a whole breakdown on. No, it wasn't retard. It wasn't retard.
They have,
it was,
they have something about retard, though.
It was fag.
Oh,
he was saying, I don't care. Like, every time they said fag, all these people were like, you couldn't say fag. And they're like in front of like the mayor. And they're like explaining themselves. They're like, bro, when I say fag, I'm talking about those idiots on motorcycles that rev their engines at the red light because they think they have a big dick.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm not talking about gay people. He goes, I didn't even know fag meant gay people until you just said that.
Right.
And that is such an obvious extreme to me, like in so many contexts where it's like, bro, clearly we weren't talking about gay people.
Yeah.
Nobody here is gay. like
it's surprising how South Park can get it right all the time and we still can't. Like South Park still, like after all these years and all this time of, you know, them putting out episodes, they still get shit right. And the rest of the world just can't get it right, bro.
It's
like
insane.
South Park's got it.
It's like even the extremist episodes where they did the episode with Charlie Kirk when he was debating and shit, and like he was the master debater with Cartman. And bro, that show was fucking hilarious. And even Charlie Kirk was like, that's hilarious. Yeah. And somehow some people were like, I can't even believe that you would put Charlie. It's not even just the left anymore. It's both. It's every fucking group of people have something to bitch about. It's at this point in time. And it's
Charlie Kirk's an interesting one. I'm curious to like know what your feelings are about Charlie Kirk.
As like in what?
Just all together, bro. I mean, why else would we talk about Charlie Kirk?
I think Charlie Kirk was a absolutely phenomenal communicator. And I think that he was probably the only political figure that kids and like young people were digesting his content regardless of the side you're on.
Yeah.
And the reason I think he was killed was a multitude of reasons. I would never kill myself. But the reason I think that he was killed primarily was that he was so influential to the point he could get people to move. And I think that's the most dangerous thing to an oligarchy is when you can make people leave their house and join a cause.
Yeah.
So there was that. And that was scary. The fact that he could get thousands of people anywhere.
Yeah, and he had power,
That's terrifying for the government. And then also, I have conspiracy theories about association with like what his wife may or may not have been involved in. And I think there's no obviousness of what's true with that, but I do think the obvious thing to say is that he found out something he wasn't supposed to.
Yeah.
And he had evidence.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, listen, I'm one for really good conspiracy theories. Like I love listening to those kinds of things. But when I think about Charlie Kirk, I don't really think about anything kind of shady happening. I think he literally just got killed because he was saying things that people don't like. And I think that's what it comes down to. And people could say, like I've heard stuff about Erica Kirk and like her probably being, you know, an agent or working for Mossad or something like that. I've heard all those kinds of things, but I don't know, man. Like I don't. It's possible, you know what I mean. But I think Charlie Kirk just died because he was saying things that people didn't want him to say.
Here's the thing: there has to be something missing in the story because if it was a more important person to the oligarchy, there would have been 900 times more information public.
Yeah,
and they closed the shutdown of the case so fast.
Yeah.
They didn't actually really know really who did it.
Well, right now, the lawyer for the kid that they arrested is claiming that the bullet wasn't his or didn't even belong to his gun. So, like, that's a whole different... Like, if you could prove that, you know what I mean? Like, first of all, here's my question. If let's say that comes true, right? Like, let's say they prove that the bullet wasn't from his gun, right? Mm-hmm. Now I'm curious, what do we do? Because, like, are we going to sweep that under the rug like we typically do and just move on? Or are they going to open up another investigation, or what's the situation there?
I think this ties back to everything that the world's playbook is right now. And to me, this is the playbook. Everybody loves to overuse the term bought and paid for. People are like, oh, this person's bought and paid for. This person is just a mouthpiece. They say what they're supposed to say. They read a teleprompter. Yes, there's absolutely people in this world that can be controlled by money. But there's a large percentage of people in this world that already have money. So when you try to control them with money, it's not, here's the money, you're going to do what I say now. It's, you're going to take this money. So now I own you. But they're going to FaceTime you, and they're just going to be your mom in a sniper scope. And they're going to say, So now I don't care if you want my money, you're gonna take it.
Damn, you getting Kanye hard with this, bro.
Dude, that shit.
Kanye hard.
You think it's Kanye, bro?
I mean, they got Kanye's mom.
They
got Kanye's mom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All I'm saying
and he
is,
ain't been the same since she passed.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, that's facts.
You know, I'm being honest, bro.
All I'm saying is, I don't think that's theory. I think that's just evident. There's so many people that, how the fuck would you have controlled that person? Like,
so that's a great topic, right? Like just that right there, like the fact that people would be willing to sell out for money or sell out their family members for fame, right? So like that, what does that apply to you? Like what's your number? And then what's your limit? You know what I mean? Like what's your number? Somebody hits you up and says, hey, you know, we're going to make you famous tomorrow. You'll be the best comedian in Austin tomorrow.
Bro, that's what's crazy.
You'll be Kill Tony regular. You'll be headlining and all that stuff. And we're going to give you, you know, $100 million, $200 million. But you're going to have to push the narratives that we tell you to push. And you're going to have to do the jokes that we tell you to do.
Dude, I can take it even a step farther when it comes to music. They go, not only are you going to follow our narratives, not only are you going to drop music when we tell you to, but you have to spend X amount of the money we send you per month to make it look like you're rich.
Okay.
That really happens.
Well, I know that, but I'm asking you, what's your number?
I don't have a number.
You got to have a number. Everyone's got a number, bro.
I don't have a number.
That's such bullshit, bro. Everyone's got a number.
If it's full control, like I don't have ownership of anything, there's no number.
So you wouldn't do it is what you're saying.
Because I fully believe in what I'm making here. And I've spent years of it. It's my life's work. And I'd rather be poor working for myself than rich working for someone else any day of the week.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people think that initially, but then here's the thing though. The problem is we put money on a pedestal and money kind of controls the world that we live in. And so that's where, as much as I want to believe you, I feel like if the situation arises, there's going to be some point where you're like, whoa. Because, you know, maybe it's not money. Maybe they find out you like something else. Maybe they find that, you know, you're in the Dolphins. I don't know. White people shit. You guys are in the Dolphins and shit. So maybe they go, hey, bro, we're going to give you unlimited access to SeaWorld even when they're closed. And you can go swim with the Dolphins. And you're like, hey, shit.
Listen. Respectfully, I don't care at all if you believe me. All that matters is that I believe in myself and I believe in God. So
I'm religious too, by the way.
So that's my thought process. I don't care at all. Yeah, I don't have to prove that I'm that. I just know. I just would know it wouldn't happen.
Yeah. Well, you know, I don't. I'm very religious myself, and I don't really like. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I wouldn't do it because the situation has never hit me. I think if you were to ask me the same question, my number would be to do what you want, right? It would just, I wouldn't, I guess, say it would be a number. I guess it would be more so like I want to have access to a certain amount of money whenever I want it, right? And then I would have rules like I'm not going to go against my religion. Anything that conflicts with my religion, I won't do it. So that would be my limit.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So like maybe they want me to be a clean comic and just, you know, pertain to kids and families and all that stuff, kind of like you know, Jim Carrey or something like that, right? Like just do that kind of stuff, and just be kind of act outs and silly Billy kind of up there. And I'm like, all right, cool, because that's not my normal type of comedy. You know, you see my comedy a little more rough around the edges.
Yeah,
so that's my preference.
Yeah, that's interesting. I just hypothesized like 3 different ways that would play out, and none of them are good.
Exactly, bro. And I'm bound to slip up. I'm probably gonna fuck up and slip up.
That's the thing. I have another. You want to hear another conspiracy theory?
Yeah, hit me with it, bro. I like a good one.
I think I would say a solid 85 to 95% of everything that happens in politics was predetermined for years ago, and the majority job of each president every year is a combination of 2 things: not understand things and be okay with the things that they're not supposed to understand. Right.
And so you think that basically the presidents are just puppets?
So not only are they puppets, they're marketed, engineered puppets that they sell to people.
So you think like from a very young age, Like, or from when they're born, they just kind of get put into this program.
Not program per se, but it's
because if you're going to cultivate presidents, you have to have a program.
Yeah,
you can't just
This is more what I think. I think that it's not Republicans versus Democrats every year. There's no such thing as Republican. There's no such thing as a Democrat. If you notice in history, they both been on both sides of every issue.
Well, duh. Yeah, I mean, they're currently switched from 20 years ago.
There's no such thing as a Democrat or Republican. The definition is lost. People don't even know what to call it anymore.
Yeah.
So my thing is, I think that the people that are picking the candidates for the people to vote upon choose a draft of people that are either in the deep, like in with them, that are like fucking fully controlled, that won't fuck up, and a fully like draft of people that are actually retarded.
See, but here's the problem with that though, is like you can't have a list of people because now too many people know about what's going on, and you risk the word getting out.
How do you let them know? What if they don't know what's going on?
Well, you have to brainwash them from a young age to get them to your liking, right? So they're going to go through the program with other kids, right? There's going to be some way.
What if I'm saying that they had a vote, and this happens in American history so much? What if they had a vote and they were like, we're gonna make us have a favorable chance of being in control, but we're not going to make it 100% every time. We're going to gamble. We're going to 50% let some idiot get in. And then if he fucks around and finds out, he can end up dead.
And that could be like JFK, right?
There you go.
Maybe he fucked around and found out.
There you go. But what if that's happened before and they played the part?
I mean, I think a lot of like the points you make there, I kind of agree with. Like, I don't really think there truly is Democrat versus Republican. I think a lot of times people are brainwashed by, because like, here's the thing. If you sit here as a Democrat or a Republican and you currently look at today's political landscape and you think your political party's doing everything correctly, you're lying to yourself. Yeah. Because both sides have had a stab at presidency recently.
100%.
And none of them have really done anything to fix the core issues. Now, you can go and watch your CNN or your Fox News and be brainwashed into thinking they're making a dent, right? But the reality is we still walk outside. There's more homeless people. Everything is more expensive. Insurance companies still are raping us. Medical field is still raping us. School is still raping us, right? So, and we're supposedly the best country in the world. Okay, cool. But we're also the most saddest, the most depressed, the most overweight. Hey, look at me, right? So, but my point is like, we have these two sides that claim to be doing certain agendas, but none of them have made any kind of leeway whatsoever towards it. And so that's where I agree that I don't think there truly is Democrat or Republican at this point in time. There may have been initially, but not anymore. You know, there definitely isn't right now.
I think a lot of things in life, people forget to adapt them.
Yeah.
People are like, I learned in middle school that this is how it's worked in the past. And the history books are written in what year? And what year is writing about what year? And the process of when something was written and who it was written by.
Yeah.
So think about like that process in itself.
Yeah.
If you were to write a history book, how long would it take for it to come out?
But let me ask you this. Since you said you're religious earlier, right? Mm-hmm. By that same token, do you think the Bible, written by people that followed around, Jesus, or at least the New Testament, right? And then the Old Testament's written by people that believed in God. Do you think that's bias?
You see, I don't know. That's how I'll answer every question.
That's okay, religion. Bro. You can be honest. Yeah, we don't have to know the answers.
I don't know. And I'm not even religious to like a specific religion. I just believe in God. And like, I don't know what that means right now. I'm kind of exploring that. But I don't know. And I think I like to make a lot of predictions. And I like to think with the logic of the world we live in, not like old speech, if that makes sense. Like, I think that like every story is adapted and told differently over time. And the way you're going to get new people to believe in God is to explain it in a way that makes them think rather than a way that makes them go, what the fuck is this guy saying?
Yeah. Well, from personal experience, I grew up like in a Catholic household, very hardcore Catholic. And then I grew up and I kind of got away from, like, I was still a Catholic, but I wasn't going to church every Sunday. I wasn't reading the Bible anymore. So I kind of started going down like a bit of a darker path. and started experimenting with different kinds of things and all that. And then at some point, I almost kind of like got re-enlightened again and then got closer to God again. And I feel like now that I chose that path versus being forced into that path, it's much different. And so now when I read the Bible, I don't know, it's different. Like I find my answers in there and it's yet to fail me. Like every time I've struggled with something, and this is why I love modern day like internet. Like I just Google or, ask AI and be like, hey, I'm struggling with this. Where is there a verse in the Bible that kind of relates to this? And low key, like it'll tell me like, okay, pull up this page and this verse and all that. And I go there, I'm reading it. I'm like, man, wow, these words are like hitting, bro. And it's never failed. And so I feel like for me, yes, it was written with people biased, like people that believed in God, believed in like followed Jesus Christ, right? So like it definitely was biased, but also like at some point I feel like proof is proof. You know what I mean? And so that's where I start kind of like saying, okay, proof is proof, bro.
You know the most condescending thing that extremely religious people will say?
Yeah, hit me with it, bro.
Faith.
Yeah. Here's the thing though, like I get some of that because here's the thing. You said you believe in God, right? But you've never seen God. So you have to have some kind of faith, right? But I like that though. I feel like life has more purpose when you believe in something. If and some people are atheists or whatever, to each their own, or retards as we like to call them, right? Sometimes like people believe that there is no God and there is no afterlife and all that, right? But to me, that just makes life so fucking boring. So it's like, what? There's nothing after this. We just die. We go in the grave, and that's it. Our bodies rot, and like nothing at all. Like you think about like kids that are running in the street. They get by a car. They pass away. Like that's it. Yeah. That's all they got in life. Nothing.
Yeah, but also there's the opposite. If you don't think there's an existence of nothing, if you think there's nothing after you die, you don't fear hell.
Yeah,
I'm going right now.
Okay, yeah.
Thanks, sir.
I respect that, but like, I guess
you know what I mean though. Like,
I guess I'm thinking about people that didn't have a chance to even really like live life. So you're just saying they're shit out of fucking luck. Like they got brought into the world for a few years and then that's it, nothing, straight to the ground. Like I'm like, dude, because at least like if you're a kid,
oh my god.
Wait.
Conspiracy theory off the brain.
Okay, here we go.
Hold on.
White senses tingling, baby.
No, think about it. What if sometimes, like, what if heaven is like it's a utopia that's exactly like this world? So, like, you know what I'm saying,
but
right?
Like no crime,
it's utopia,
no
right?
Hatred, no jealousy.
Okay. So if that's the case,
no
what if that world needs people to do things to make that world still function? So when someone dies at a certain age, motherfucker, they were recruiting.
Yeah, that could
think about that. They could be recruiting.
I actually have a bit like when I first started doing comedy about how God is really just recruiting slaves, like for the utopia. Because like I said, if heaven is all that we make it out to be, it's got to take a lot of work to keep up with all that landscaping and the. Because you can't be up in heaven and the building has bird shit on it.
Dude, there's so much legs. I feel like there's so much legs to that.
Yeah, like, I was messing with it, but then like also again with joking and religion, I guess some people get a little bit like weirded out when you bring religion into it. I'm like, hey, bro, I'm a religious person too, but I gotta laugh. Everyone's gotta laugh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what's crazy about humor is, I actually think that God kind of pushed me towards comedy. I'll tell you why. I used to think when I first started like doing comedy, I used to think like laughter was not, I guess, really associated with like religion at all, right? But then one day I started thinking about it. I was reading the Bible. I'm like, yo, laughter comes naturally. It's not like you could fake laugh, but real laughter just comes because you like your body, your mind, your conscious, your soul found something funny, right? So like we can't explain that, and I feel like that right there is just something like God gave us naturally. All of us have humor. You know what I mean? Just like the way we can breathe, see, smell, like all that stuff, right? I feel like humor is another one of those
Humor's
things.
a sense.
Yeah, and so like why did he give us that? Because when people laugh, they feel a sense of relief. They feel like this euphoria. You kind of forget all of your problems and everything. So I'm like, laughter, I feel like God just kind of gave it to us like as a natural medicine.
Bro, I think I'm going to start keeping perplexity right here because I really want to ask it right now and say how many animals in the world have the sense of humor?
I feel like animals do laugh. I
wonder how many like that. Are all of them like? Is there a fucking chance that a frog sees someone fall in the lake and laugh at him?
I mean,
that would be so funny,
dude.
Bro.
If I get a frog laugh, that'd be fucking hilarious. It like burps as it laughs.
No, real talk though. Imagine a frog just sitting there, and it sees you falling into fucking water.
Yeah,
like off a fucking
do a
bridge.
Burp laugh.
Off a bridge.
See if you can do a burp laugh. I can't.
I don't know if I can either. But that shit would be fucking funny as hell.
Yeah. Well, hyenas, don't they laugh?
Yeah.
Right?
But I don't know. They do, but I don't know if that's what that is.
Or if that's just their sound, maybe.
Yeah, who knows?
That's a weird
one. I think it's an intimidation thing, but then they don't realize. It's like they're ignorant to the fact that they're not that scary because there's so many of them. Like, they're a pack animal, and they're always like, dude, there's 30 of us.
Yeah.
How the fuck you gonna fuck us up, bro?
I feel like hyenas are just like dogs that are like high on laughing gas.
Or like, fuck, I don't even know. They're like little monsters, bro. Like, I don't know how do you explain that shit, bro. Like, that shit was made by the devil, bro. What the fuck?
Hyenas are weird.
They're goofy as hell. Yeah. They will sit there and laugh at you and fuck you up.
As they're killing you, yeah, as they're eating you. They're making a laughing noise. That is pretty fucked up. Yeah. I mean, that's some crazy shit. Like, could you imagine like you're dying and someone's laughing as you're dying? Dude, that's probably one of the worst things that could happen.
There is a lion over there. Oh no.
Why are you gay?
Did you see that?
No.
Oh my god, bro. So you know the like song from The Lion King? So
okay.
Like
yeah.
That African phrase literally means there is a lion over there.
That's pretty dope.
I swear.
That's
and somebody,
dope.
The guy that said that got sued because it's true, but they didn't want that to come out. It was like in his contract that he didn't say that or some shit.
Oh, so he worked on the set.
I don't know, some shit like that.
Okay. I was about to say, like, if you're just a normal person,
it might have been his song. Like, it might have been like he had the ownership to that song or some shit.
That's crazy that they could own like what you can and can't say. Like, that's a whole other topic in itself.
What the fuck?
Like when people sign a contract,
or maybe it was just simply he was just pissed that it came out.
Yeah,
it might have not been like a legality thing. It might have just been the dude was just I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I was probably high.
It's probably a Democrat versus Republican thing again.
I don't know about that. I don't know where that comes from.
Yeah, there's a lot where we don't know where it comes from. A lot of shit we don't know where it comes from.
I think the most flabbergasted I've been the whole year, and there's been a lot of crazy shit that's happened. Still to this day, the shit blows my mind. I found out that 79% of all comments on reels that you read are AI generated random shit.
Well, yeah.
And wait.
Yeah.
This is the crazy part.
Yeah.
Not only that, but they specifically memorize the opposite of what your like feed is. And then that's what they're showing you in reels.
Right.
And that means that they're inflating the reality that doesn't exist to each side. And that's why people fucking hate each other.
Well, brother, I mean, you got to remember, first of all, there's already been multiple social media companies that have been caught red-handed influencing political campaigns, right? So that there's your first, kind of evidence of that, right? Second of all, these guys are businesses, and people forget we're in a capitalist country. And for a business to succeed, this is Middle Eastern talk. I'm going to give you some Middle Eastern 101, bro, okay? So money's money, right? So when you own a business, you constantly, every single day, live, breathe, and eat. How can I make my business more fucking money, right? And so if you owned a social media company, right, and you've tried all the other basic bullshit, you've done marketing, you've put games in, you've allowed open interaction, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you've hit your boom, you've hit your plateau. But now you got to take it to the next fucking step, right? Because you got Instagram here, you got X here, and you got TikTok here, right? You got competition. They're all going to that next step, right? So eventually you run out of natural ideas. You got to start thinking outside the box. So how am I going to fucking get you to stay on Instagram? I'm going to start putting fucking comments towards the reel, and I'm going to start showing you videos that you want to fucking see because I can tell from your phone what you're interested in, it's going to keep throwing that shit your way, bro. You know what I mean? Now you got all kinds of people talking about how I thought about something and it popped up on my phone. That's true.
That's not necessarily true.
Bro, but listen.
Dude, but people say if you're
I can't
thinking about it, you talk
but
about
it's
it.
happened to me like twice this week already.
But if you think about something, you're also looking for something. So if you're rapidly scrolling, you're going to see a lot of content.
I'll give you an example.
Come on, bro. You're telling me how long you scroll for. Some people scroll for...
Okay, I'm going to give you an example. I swear to God. I wrote this
people.
yeah, straight up, dude. I wrote it in my notes this week, okay, when I was like writing stuff for comedy. At one point this week earlier, I was like really sore because I slept wrong on my back and my neck and shit, right?
Oh, stop. I don't want to hear about that. No,
but I'm just, you know, when you have that kind of pain, you're thinking to yourself like, fuck, a massage or a chiropractor or something would like really help, right? So I'm at work and I'm dealing with this pain. I go to the bathroom, all right, to drop a deuce, which I love doing on company time, by the way, my favorite thing in the world. Just go in there and take a shit when I'm already clocked in. It's like perfect. You know what I mean? Knock out a good 20 minutes on the toilet. So I go in there, bro. I'm on the phone and I haven't said a word to anyone about my pain. I haven't looked up nothing. Scrolling on Facebook's my preferred social media, going through the reels, and the first ad that comes up, Thai massage nearby. Second ad that comes up, a place that's a chiropractor, and then all massage. I never talked about it with anybody, dude.
It just came up.
It just came up, bro. Damn. And then it ain't like my reels are of people getting massages.
Damn, you know what the fuck? I wonder what it was coming from. Like, because it has to understand something, even if it's like something niche, even if you just like, visited an app or Google the picture or something.
Crazy shit about AI is like we're in the fucking Macintosh version of it. Yeah. Remember like Macintosh
obviously, computers? Yeah, it's the smallest shit. Yeah, it's the smallest it will ever be.
Yeah.
So here's the question: do you think that? Okay, this is my thought process. I think that it's going to be exactly as what the internet was to the next generation. It was like, it's the shit. Get on or get out the way.
Yeah.
And once eventually, it's going to obviously, just like the internet, there were some people that were like, and the internet fucked a lot of people up.
Yeah.
The internet did.
Yeah.
It fucked a lot of people up.
For sure. Absolutely.
But people adapted.
Yeah.
So AI will fuck a lot of people up.
100%.
But a lot of people will adapt.
Yeah.
Humans aren't going to just be like, fucked from AI. That's not going to happen. Like, that's so extreme. That's not going to happen. At least
I think the biggest concern is like the job market, right?
Yeah, but
isn't that what that is?
Yeah, but there's so many jobs that people just don't want to do also.
Absolutely. So nobody wants to be a plumber.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But plumbers are very important. People don't realize it, but it's true. Plumbers are probably one of the most important jobs that we have, right? So electricians work very, so we know all that, but I don't know. I agree with you. I think we'll adapt too.
We'll adapt.
Yeah, like people always tell me, well, what's gonna happen with the job market? What happens if like AI takes over everything? I'm like, well, listen, it'll be simple. The government will either figure out a way to pay you to be a bunch of lazy fucks. They did it during COVID, right? So they'll figure out a way to do it that way, or they incentivize companies to not go with AI. Hey, you get certain tax breaks if you don't have AI in your company, or hey, if you do use AI in your company, you only can lay off up to 1% of your employees using AI as a substitution, right? They put some kind of cap on it. So there's a way. We'll adapt.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to just sit here and let AI
run everything. We're not fucking stupid.
Now, it might run things. That I don't know. Because if it gets smart enough, like, okay, so in hospitals right now, right, they've now created like robotics. Have you heard of robotics? Mm-hmm. So like instead of surgeries being done by a doctor's hands, it's done by robot hands. And those robot hands have way less of a chance of error.
Okay, how high is the
difference? Human error is like, I don't know exact, but like it's definitely.
I was just curious, like to a pro like surgeon, I wonder what the comparison is.
I can't give you exact numbers, but I would say they probably didn't put all that money in install it without it being a really solid difference.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Even if you think about like, even if it's a 10% difference, still worth it because you're saving 10% more lives and saving 10% more pain to people, right? So my dad recently got like a really big surgery on his back. They basically had to like reconstruct his whole spine and everything like that. It was all done by robotics, which is wild. And the doctor that did it was just telling me, he was like, yeah, it's a very low, rate of error. And prior to this, like 20 years ago, a lot of people got this surgery and it was done by doctors' hands, and they either became paralyzed or something went wrong. And so like one thing got fixed, but then something became an issue later on. So
I think that's like almost every shortcut is like you're going to have some sort of extreme story that comes back from that shortcut that you took.
Right.
Especially if you keep taking it.
Right.
Eventually.
Right.
Something's going to get you.
Yeah. And I just think AI, who knows, bro? Like maybe it does lead the country.
Can we just point. There might be a point in history where people start
like, okay, let me ask you this. Would you let's say AI is proved to be completely unbiased. Just completely unbiased.
I've said too much.
Yeah, you did. You just gotta be good. Let's move on to the next subject. But like, let's say AI was proven to be like very unbiased, right? Like, wouldn't you want AI to be your judge in court? You know what I'm saying? Like, would I want to judge? Like, judges have been proven to be biased before. There's been a lot that have been proven to be racist.
Wouldn't you want them to run your government?
Exactly. Or be your president. See what I'm saying? Like, dude, that's a wild theory to think about. Like, to me, that's even more crazy to think about with AI than thinking about it taking over jobs. Like, at what point do we just say, hey, AI is smarter than humans and making less errors and mistakes than humans, so shouldn't we let it tell us what to do? You know what I mean? Like, at what point do we get to that? You know? And that's a good fucking topic.
The thing is, here's the question.
Uh-huh.
Even if that starts to occur, how would it change the day-to-day? How would AI enforce its rules? Are you saying that it's going to be Terminator, bro? Because
that'd be fucking crazy.
Because, like, bro, if it's Terminator, fuck that, bro. I don't want to die like that, bro.
No, we need to bring Arnold back into his
bro,
prime.
are you fucking kidding me, bro? Can we have it not be like that? If that's off limits, bro. Like, if they can't do that.
Yeah.
What they finna do? I guess they could take our energy. Like,
yeah.
I guess. Maybe. They could try to maybe poison us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's that smart, it could definitely, if it's smarter than humans.
Yeah.
Could definitely kill us, probably, or figure out, or at least come up with a plan that's pretty solid to kill us all.
That's why did you not just hear the plan?
I'm saying
so cleverly innuendoed.
Yeah, dude, it's like perfect. You know what I mean? But then I think okay, so in that scenario, let's say it took out all the humans. How is AI going to survive without humans? Don't you need?
They need a few. They don't want to. They would not want
infrastructure.
They don't want to kill all of them.
Exactly.
It's just a few.
Like, let's say half, like Thanos shit. Like, hey, we got to take out half. You guys are overpopulating. You guys are too much. What if they just said, hey, take out all the Republicans? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, all the Republicans got to go.
Dude, then it would be the first time in human history that all the Republicans would become gender fluid.
That'd be so fucking funny, dude. Yeah. They just make them like, hey, if you want to, we'll give you a chance to stay alive, but you got to be gay.
That's why I said gender fluid, because then we got to switch up.
Yeah, like you gotta switch teams, bro. Then AI would be diabolical for doing some shit like that, dude.
Dude, for real, what if it develops a sense of humor? It's just fucking like roasting you.
That would be, right now, I don't think AI is funnier than comedians. I think AI, like, I've seen people show me some stuff, man, like, that's kind of funny, but I don't think it's funnier than humans. So, like, that would piss me off if AI eventually got to a point where it is funnier than humans. Like, fuck you, dude.
I hate people that think the music's good.
Well, it's not that the music is good. It's just like it takes these voices and it makes the perfect voice. It'll take like Michael Jackson's like rhythm and, Whitney Houston's like pitch, you know what I mean? And like, it'll just combine all those into like one voice. So you almost get like the most perfectly constructed voice.
I've seen that.
See, that is crazy. But yeah, I guess, do they have like programs where you can detect if something is AI made?
Here's another thought process. If AI is so weak right now that most of the time you could distinguish when it is with random people working on it. How good is the AI that they have access to that isn't like out to the public?
For sure, yeah.
That can literally make the perfect video of something based on pictures.
Yeah. And who's to say they're not already using it?
Because, bro, even how effortless my covers that I make for this show are, it takes me less than 2 minutes to make the covers for the show.
Yeah.
How effortless they are.
Right.
I guarantee you there's something that's that effortless to do it for real.
Right. And who's to say they're not already using it?
They are.
And we just don't know.
No, absolutely they are. The amount of content that comes out in one day, okay, what would be more easy? Going to every single person that's ever taken a photograph ever and just fucking taking those photos, downloading them.
Right.
Or, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense on an efficiency net.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm too stupid for that shit, bro. And honestly, here's the thing, low key. If it's gonna make my life easier, as long as I don't gotta do nothing stupid, like, you know, here's the thing. I don't want a chip in my fucking body. So like that part I'm not really cool with. But like, man, if
you already got one,
then you know, I'm fucked, I guess.
That's what I'm saying.
It is what it is. You know
like,
what I mean?
I feel like it wouldn't be like a do or don't situation. It'd be like it already has been or hasn't been. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think it has been yet.
It wouldn't be hard.
I don't think it has been because there's too many people that have like gone like, okay, like Edward Snowden would have been already by now if there was chip in him. You know what I mean? Like they would have got to him already by this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I don't think we're at that point yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if there are chips like that.
Yeah.
And they have already put them in certain people.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm just saying it's happened.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised with that. I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
We have a lot of shit that, you know, we don't know about. I mean,
that's my whole point. Yeah. Like, I hate to play God, but it's like, bro, there's so many thought processes that lead like that I'm gonna have that are like, bro, we don't know about everything.
Yeah.
Like there's so much shit that they obviously know about that makes them think differently than you. Like you gotta at least give that line of thought process before you're like angry as fuck about something you know nothing about.
100%.
Especially because 9 times out of 10, I don't even know shit about it. I'm just like, bro, I don't know shit. Like I read like one article maybe, and then I read like something else, and then I'm like, bro, that shit was like the opposite. And neither made any fucking sense. Mm-hmm. And how can you have a story about something that happened that day already? Yeah. Were you there, dog? Was the fucking dude that wrote an article about something like?
Yeah, we definitely live where we have like way too much information in front of us. So it's like we have to like sit there and read all of it and then kind of like form our own opinion.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part is like, you know, now you have so much, like, whereas before you didn't really have a lot of resources. Now you have so many freaking resources. You don't really know if they're all right, all wrong, some right, some wrong. So you kind of just like read it all. And then, like you said, either you get to a point where you're like, I don't fucking know what's right or what's wrong. Or you said, no, actually, this seems kind of, this side.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with this.
I don't know. That's why I go back to that first conspiracy theory. I said, like, that shit could all be predetermined. Like, if it's completely like they already know these two people are going to go against each other for public entertainment and they're going to make it seem like it's these two people and that's just all. Why even be like
mad? You talking about for
like,
presidency?
Yeah. Like, why even be like, like on either side? You don't like that's like another thing. It's like another religion. It's like, how do you know? Like maybe that person's really working hard to do something. Maybe.
I mean, listen, dude. I definitely think the presidents that we have been like trained, you know what I mean? At some point, I could see that. But then I look at someone like Donald Trump and I'm like, that motherfucker either was trained to purposely be like opposite of all these other presidents, or he just got lucky and actually got elected, dude.
That's what I think. I think most of them in history have been manufactured, but there's a couple people that got in there that weren't supposed to.
If he slipped in, I mean, that's fucking funny.
What's even crazier is how much they loved him before he was president.
Yeah.
Documented.
No, he's still pretty cool. I mean, listen, Donald Trump's, regardless of what people say, I'll give him this. He's funny as fuck.
He is funny.
Yeah, he is funny.
Yeah.
And beyond that, yeah, I agree. Like, there's a lot of people that say certain things that I don't necessarily agree with. However, I will say this: he does say a lot of stupid shit, and I think that's always been the problem, right? It's like, bro, like what did he say the other day? We're gonna fuck up the Strait of whatever, and we're gonna eliminate an entire civilization. Like, like I get like playing tough and all that stuff, and not even just playing tough, but also making sure people realize that we are a real threat. But you don't have to threaten to eliminate an entire civilization. That's wild to say. You're talking about like innocent kids, wives, people that are just going to school, like teachers, all that stuff. You're just gonna eliminate all those people. Like that's a crazy flex to say, bro. You know what I mean? So like things like that to me is kind of what turns people off from Trump. I feel like back in the day he wasn't saying shit like that. You know what I mean? So everything else he did,
he knows
was
he
cool.
He knows he ain't got to try to get back in.
Yeah. Bro, if he slipped in through the cracks, it's pretty fucking funny. I'd actually probably have a little more respect for him if that is the case, because at that point it would take a really smart person.
I think it's
to get rid of a system.
I think it's also really possible he slipped into the cracks and then he bought in.
Yeah, that's true. Like he caved to pressure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe.
And that's like, bro, like I said before, not everybody can be moved with money, but everybody can be moved by something.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, he has kids. Maybe they threatened the family. You know what I mean? Who knows? Maybe they did. Maybe what was the porn star that kind of came out when he was running?
Yeah. There was like a million things. Yeah. That's the thing. That's why it's so impressive that he won, because they tried so hard to make him not win.
By the way, in the modern day era, I'm sorry to the Democrats. Like, what a dumb move. Like, okay, I'm sorry. Our country's a little bit on the slow end, right? And so, like, to say that our next president or soon to be next president or potentially next president slept with a porn star, way to make the guy look good. You know what I mean? And I'm not just saying that like because like I'm saying it's a good thing, but like in today's day and age, bro, people look at Bill Clinton as a cool guy, right? Back in that time frame, sure, everybody fucking hated him, right? But nowadays, everyone talks about how like, yeah, Bill was cool. So what? He got his dick sucked in the office. Big whoop de fucking do, right? But back in that time frame when it happened, it was like, no, fuck that, right? So I'm just saying, like Donald Trump, probably good timing that it came out that he slept with a porn star, because I guarantee you a lot of those like middle-aged.
Yeah, bro, that's like what I'm saying. It's like they didn't think at all about their plan of attack.
Yeah, it was a bad move.
It was so many times.
Yeah.
So many
They probably
times.
thought they were going to Bill Clinton him.
Yeah.
They probably thought they were going to get him with that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this guy's too shameful. There's no way he's going to be.
And here's the thing. When you, bro, I think this is so true. If you plot and create 8 years of lies, evident lies, proven opposites, for long enough, people accept falsehoods as realities, right?
Sure, yeah.
So sometimes when the truth comes back, it looks insane.
Yeah. Or you just don't even believe it, even though it's right there in front of you.
Yeah.
Because you've been so brainwashed or turned into like thinking a certain narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like I said, if Trump slipped through the cracks, yeah, I think I have a little more respect for him, because that's kind of cool. You know what I mean? To defy the system and be able to get through. And they're like, hey, we're going to get this guy with some old tactics.
Talking about this grown-ass man slipping through the crack is crazy.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he probably wouldn't like those choice of words. We don't ever slip through the crack. Yeah, no, Trump's an interesting character, man. I find him funny, bro. I really do find him funny. Some of the shit he says is funny. And if you watch those debates, I agree with Shane Gillis when he said, like, one day he's going to be out of office. We're going to miss those debates. Absolutely. Yeah. Those were entertaining. I don't care.
They were electric.
Yeah. People say, oh, my God, it's disgraceful. I'm like, yeah, but if you didn't laugh during a couple of those guys, dude, that shit was fucking funny, dude. When he's done being a president, he should probably take a shot at comedy. He's got good timing.
He did WWE.
Yeah, so I'm saying like he's a good entertainer already. I
couldn't picture him doing comedy. I know he would be funny.
I think he would.
I don't think he would want to do it though. He would not want to go up and be
dude. Like, I think he would do low key pretty fucking good, dude. And the motherfucker would sell out arenas right off the rip.
Imagine he went to the panel and killed Tony.
Yeah, No, that would be legendary. That would be legendary. You know what I mean? Like that would be the perfect crowd for him to like be on the panel with.
Yeah,
because that crowd's gonna love him.
People be freaking out.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything he says, they would just get like a fucking
bro. Those tickets would be like $10,000 each.
Yeah.
God damn.
I could see him doing it, bro, if it paid him enough.
Who's your number one wish list that you'd like to see on Kill Tony?
Like on the panel?
Just like fucking yeah.
Probably. Man, I know it's corny, but I don't think it's really corny because I just think it would be special. I'd like to see Chappelle on there. Yeah. You know, I think, first of all, I think Chappelle in that environment would thrive because of like his style of comedy. But also number two, I feel like as a comedian, if you get pulled from that bucket that night and you go up there and you get to hear his take on your comedy, regardless if it's good or bad, the fact that Chappelle got to watch you and then also give you feedback, that's pretty fucking dope, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people would love that. That's probably my dream candidate. Yeah.
I want to see Joey Diaz.
Yeah, Joey would be fucking great, dude. Wow. Yeah, that's a good one, bro. Yeah.
I want to see Joey do it so bad.
Yeah, that'd be a great
stay for stay for the whole 3 hours. Full send it. Just because, bro, it needs to be like an anniversary episode or something. Like, bro,
they gotta have him and Holtzman.
Him and Rogan.
Yeah, but I feel like Rogan. I feel like Rogan. Like I've seen him on there. He's just kind of quiet throughout, and just kind of like he doesn't want to overtake.
Yeah.
Which is cool and all, but like I feel like Holtzman and Diaz would be a great fucking combo on the panel, dude. That would
or like a fucking athlete, like Aaron Rodgers or some shit. Like
Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, he'd say some weird shit. Probably make us all laugh. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's a weird fucking hippie guy. I've always despised him.
Really? Yeah, me too. I'm a Bears fan.
Yeah. I mean, talent-wise, you know, as a football
I have so much respect for his arms.
Absolutely, bro. Yeah, no, you gotta give him that for sure. Probably one of the best arms ever.
Little break. Never hurt nobody.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Bro, we went everywhere. We went all over the place. I want to take it a little bit back to comedy.
Yeah.
You were talking about, you wrote before you started? Like you wrote jokes before you started? How, like, what was
No.
So you went up and you like to do the riffing more at the beginning?
Yeah. I think like what initially got me into comedy was probably like crowd work and like that being a little more naturally of a crutch for me. And it did, like when I first started doing comedy, like because I did a lot of crowd work, I would do well, like a lot of open mics and bars and little spots like that. But then when it came to rooms where people were actually like paying for comedy and they wanted to see jokes, there were some rooms that I felt like crowd work, even how good I was at it, was just not going to cut it. And so when I would go to trying to do jokes, I wasn't good at it and I would bomb. And then I was like, damn, I got to write, because if I'm in that situation, I got to be able to have something. So I pride myself on being prepared for like each type of room and being ready to go with whatever I got to do.
Yeah, and sometimes I feel like it's hard to diversify if a joke didn't work or if the room didn't work.
Yeah. I don't ever think the room doesn't work. I'm a firm believer in that.
Yeah, usually.
I mean, unless there's nobody fucking in there.
Yeah, there you go.
And I mean nobody.
Yeah.
If there's still one person, you could still make that person laugh.
Yeah.
But nobody is fucking nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think you can, I think you can still work things out with you in a light room.
What's your biggest goal in comedy?
To probably just make a career out of it. That'd be like my biggest goal. A thing where I don't have to work, my fucking 9 to 5 anymore and just focus on comedy. That would be perfect.
Bro.
Yeah.
I feel like there's something that could be done here, like in terms of the whole cities of comics, that like there's something that we could do to partner and create on our own that would be so fucking insane. And like it's like the perfect time in history to do it.
Yeah.
Like, bro, look what Theo just did. They just built a fucking movie, bro.
Who did?
Theo Von.
Oh, yeah.
They built a movie, bro.
Yeah.
They got the whole thing made.
Yeah.
They can do joke about whatever in that shit.
Yeah.
That's insane.
But also Theo Von is Theo Von.
Bro, but I'm just saying that shit is insane.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was allowed to happen, like I'm just saying.
I mean, it's
like,
Theo Von. If Theo Von wanted to fucking, he came up to me talking about a movie, I'd probably listen. Yeah, I mean, motherfucker knows a thing or two about being funny.
Yeah, he is funny. But I did see him live, bro, and I just did not enjoy his comedy live.
That's fine. Yeah, he doesn't have to be a cup of tea.
He's phenomenally, like, he's my favorite, one of my favorite podcasts.
It's okay if you're retarded.
No, his podcast is phenomenal. His podcast is phenomenal. But one thing that's the most insane thing about his podcast is that he'll one day interview the president and the next day interview a lunch lady.
Yeah, it's great, bro. Man, I think there was a point in time where he was also taking like phone calls, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, it was when he was doing his calls just by himself.
Yeah. I missed those ones, dude. Those were fucking cool, bro.
Yeah, some of the ones on his own were crazy. But some of the ones on his ones are hard watches, bro.
Yeah. That's what I kind of like. That's that raw shit, bro. Yeah, I think that's why people connect with him, and his fan base is definitely very, very biased with him. Yeah, which is cool though. I think he's funny.
Yeah, I definitely templated this show around that. Funny, entertaining, like, but at the same time serious and with some real conversation and just authenticity,
Yeah.
No, like, pure, like, this, that, the third, like, template. But I have some things that I'd like to know, obviously, out of pure curiosity.
Yeah, I feel like he'd be fun to do, like, drugs with.
Me?
No.
Oh,
Theo Von. Yeah. I feel like you'd be fun to do drugs with, too. To make you feel better. You don't have to go shoot up a school tomorrow.
Listen, I like you. Don't show up tomorrow.
Hey, tomorrow in our bar. Don't go.
Oh, you better show up to Narbar tomorrow, 11 p.m. on the dot.
Yeah, I love Narbar. It's a dope spot.
Facts. I should be there. Well, I will be there tomorrow, but I don't know for how long. I might just pull up there for a bit, but I'm gonna hit the city tomorrow though.
Yeah, that's what's up, baby. We got all the comedy
Friday night.
Yeah. Don't make another rap song now, dog.
Oh, dude, I've been making every rap song. Yeah. The intro on this fucking podcast is my rap song.
Yeah, well, that's what this country needs, another white rapper.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Need more, dude. I'm telling you.
A white Jewish rapper.
Yeah.
A white Jewish ginger rapper.
We just need more, dude. We need that. We need like diversity in rap, dude.
Hey man, I want a DEI scholarship.
We need an old lady in rap.
We do need an old lady in rap.
Yeah, we need a
Do you volunteer as tribute?
Huh?
I said, do you volunteer as tribute?
Dude, I'm not. Nope. I'd rather play bingo. I'm good. I ain't about that life. I'll pass. Oh, I'm gonna let my titty sag in peace, dog.
I don't know. I think that overall the city's been good to me. I like most of what goes on here. I think that it gets a bad rap. I think Austin's been pretty cool.
What's the one thing you'd change so far?
One thing I would change.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have invited this person over when I was doing mushrooms with my friend the other day. I would not have done that.
Okay.
Yeah.
They crossed some lines?
Nah, they just had a chance to. You know what I mean?
A chance to cross the line?
Like you just like read people and you're like, I got lucky. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
okay,
that could have been bad.
Yeah. No, I mean, dodged a bullet, I'm hoping.
Yep.
All right, cool. That's what's up.
So bro. I was like, but I had a
Too bad Charlie couldn't.
Have you ever heard Jesse Vasquez's joke on that?
Nah, dude, nah.
He has a great joke about that.
Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff about that. There was some like corny stuff, like the old pain in the neck joke. A lot of people were doing that. It's like, yeah, get it.
I think crowd work, like jokes like that, are funnier than like set jokes like that a lot of the time. Like when it's like on the money or something that's like a misdirection or a callback sometimes, like with something like that, it's fucking funny.
Yeah. I think Charlie Kirk jokes and anything that's like sensitive like that, when you could bring a take that somebody else hadn't seen before, that's usually the best route to go.
Facts.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like kind of with any style of joke a little bit though. Like it's like,
no, sometimes the obvious is funny, bro.
Yeah, the obvious is funny. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like you want to do it in a way that like people wouldn't have thought you were going to do it. You know? Like,
yeah, no, it's definitely a good logic, but also I do think like, you know, like obvious stuff is good. I even think some low hanging fruit's not a bad idea depending on the situation. But I think in that scenario, when you're talking about something sensitive, it's good to have a perspective that people maybe hadn't seen before. I think it eases the joke about it.
Yeah, that's why I have trouble overdoing sometimes. Like I feel like I do too much like astute like observations rather than bits. Like, I'm like, bro, this is so true. I'm gonna fucking get the crowd reacting.
That's the Jew in you. Yeah. Look at you just plotting, baby. Look at that ginger Jew in you, dude.
That's gonna get clipped.
Look at that ginger Jew in you. Should be your new T-shirt.
Bro, I just came up with my first ginger Jew joke.
All right.
It's good.
Lay it down.
It's like, I come from a long line of Jews and gingers.
Mm-hmm.
I use the ginger side. Fuck. Wait, I'm
already fucking up this
I
joke.
fucked the joke up. Damn, I'm
Ooh,
high. But it's like,
stage.
I never fuck up on stage either. That's what's crazy. It's like, I'm high. I can't even fucking, I brain farted hard.
Good.
But it's like, they said that gingers have a high pain tolerance. So I use my pain tolerance to deal with the social constraint of being a Jew. And with my Jewish bank account, that allows me to pay for the social constraint of being a ginger.
Okay. Trying to touch on both stereotypes there.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. It's got some legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I go into I'm like, yo, my whole life I've been wondering why there's no Jews in the NFL. It's because they're afraid of pigskin. And it's like, I've always wondered what would happen if the Jews and the blacks traded places.
Mm.
All I know is they'd both make a lot less money.
Mm. Yeah. It's good point. That part's good, yeah. They switch spots.
Yeah.
Although you never know. You know, there was a point in time when there was something called like Black Wall Street. You know what I mean? Black people have proven they can make money too.
Yeah.
When they're given the equal opportunity, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know. That'd be interesting. There definitely wouldn't be a lot of athletic Jews.
Oh, that's my whole point. And not only would there be another, but
it's
no. This is going to sound so fucked up, but I'm touching on the point.
No, you're already racist right now.
Yeah. I'm touching on the point that Jews have a higher chance.
Just say you don't like black people. That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying I wouldn't want a black guy. Would you rather have a Jew do your taxes or a black guy?
I think if the black person is a trained and experienced person in the Jewish
would you want the equally experienced Jew or the equal experienced black guy?
I would want the one that's going to get me the most.
Do you want the equal experienced Jew or the equal? I'm just kidding.
I want the one that the Lord guides me to. How about that? Hey, God, which route should I go and why is it the Jewish person? But yeah, man, I'm just saying, like, black people proving they can make money, but there's definitely a lot less proof of Jewish people being athletic.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Exactly.
So I think that side definitely
both make a lot less money.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. And it's just imagine how fucking boring those.
Imagine the NFL just a bunch of Jewish people. That's so like, can you believe that it's raining during the game again? Oh my God. I'm never going to clear my nostrils from this. It's going to be so, and the plane ride home, we're going to be in the air.
Instead of hot dogs at the rinks, or instead of hot dogs at the fields, they're going to be selling fucking
halals.
Like, bagels instead of French fries.
Just kosher meat.
Fucking kosher meat.
Everything's kosher, baby.
They just got pickle stands.
Kosher pickles, baby. Let's go.
Pickle stands in the middle of the road.
Kosher hot dogs.
And
kosher
pickles. And every single advertisement is one of their banks.
Yeah, no. Got to wear a yarmulke every time you enter, dude.
Yeah, that's what you get with the free entry. You get the yarmulkes.
Yeah. Helmets have to have the yarmulkes too. That'd be fucking great, dude.
Dude, they could have the Jewish stars on all the helmets, like as stickers.
Yeah, dude. Yarmulkes are funny, dude.
That team would get the first overall pick every year.
You know, growing up as a kid, I used to think like yarmulkes were like, I don't know why, but I used to think they were just like bras cut in half. I don't know why they looked like that to me.
Bras cut in half. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
I was an idiot kid, dude. I would just see yarmulke, I would think of titties. I never
understood the yarmulkes because I just feel like it created the the stereotype that the Jews always have that haircut where they're missing that patch of hair back there.
Yeah.
And I was like, why the fuck? What's the point, bro? And the thing is, my family was like Reform Judaism, which is like, that shit is like not extreme at all. Like it's like it's bitch Judaism. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like it's like the least strict of any of the religions. Like, bro, it doesn't matter if you don't keep kosher. It doesn't matter if you whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's like a bunch of random shit. If you don't celebrate Shabbat the right way, whatever. and
they're cool with it.
Yeah, so it's like they're very like strict on random shit, and then some shit that's the same thing. They're like, oh, so it's like you have a loosey goosey religion,
like, liberal Judaism.
Yeah. You're very loosey goosey with what you allow and what's okay here.
Don't eat pork, but it's okay if you're trans.
Oh my God, couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, like I knew your parents this whole time.
It's fucking wild. It's just like, bro.
Dude, I grew up. I'm Middle Eastern, bro. I grew up in a family that's like crazy homophobic and fucking, like hardcore evangelists and all that stuff. So it's like an interesting dynamic. I said earlier, like I'm pretty religious myself, but I think I would say I'm a little more. I don't want to discount the Old Testament. It's got its purpose, but I think the New Testament, and I think part of the reason why like Jewish people at that time were so against Jesus was because he came in and basically preached the Torah in a different way. And the Torah at that time, prior to Jesus, was very like black and white. Like, for example, if you were blind, if you were disabled or something like that, right? They firmly believed that was because you fucked up or somebody in your family fucked up.
Yeah.
And you deserved it pretty much. We're not going to try to help you. We're not going to try and fix you or try and, help out the poor. None of that, right? You're poor for a reason. You deserve it. And Jesus came around and said, hey, even if somebody's poor, we need to help them. We need to put our arms around them. We need to give them a chance. They're also equal to you. You know what I mean? And even if they did sin, which is not always the case, right? But even if they did, they can be forgiven. And so that's where I think the issue, like, obviously was, causing a divide. It was like the Torah was taught this way for all these years, but then Jesus kind of came and said, well, I think you guys are interpreting it the wrong way.
If you read either scripture, it's so easy to determine it the wrong way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like what?
Because it all depends on who's teaching it to you.
There's a Hebrew word in Reformed Judaism that I can't remember what the word is, but it literally means you will struggle with God.
Yeah.
So their whole religion is about the ideology of questioning if it's even possible with what happened, or if it's not possible.
Yeah.
That's the whole religion.
Yeah.
It's not faith.
Yeah.
Jewish people don't say faith. They don't claim the word faith because it's not that. It's like a struggle. It's like a battle with an interpretation of something.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
That's what I think anyway.
Yeah, it's all religion's a very good topic. We could definitely do another hour on religion, bro. It's fun to talk about because there's so many interesting theories.
I like the extremist what ifs too.
Yeah.
Like you're just like, dude, what if like crazy thought process right here. What if like it was like a fucking video game server for God, and he could spawn in anything and change any storyline of anything that he wants?
Sure,
what if it's that? Like it's literally, boom, you're dead, fucker.
Or what if like every God that there is out there that people believe in does exist, and they're all competing? It's like one big war against each other to claim each other's like followers. That would be like a big battle royale kind of WWE style shit. You know what I mean?
Facts.
On the right corner, you've got the Christian God who's coming in and weighing.
I actually can see something like that being like a possibility. Like I don't think it's impossible. Yeah. And I think it's very like the only thing with like God is I feel like a lot of things that he created a simulation of. Like he can't be fully like I just can't wrap my head around someone being able to be conscious to everything that happens. Like there's no way a motherfucker actually fucking like maybe he has access to it, but I don't believe
what you just said right there. Like you can't wrap your head around it.
Yeah,
that right there is like why I think we as humans have something better than us operating, because we can't fully wrap our head around everything in this world. There's so many things we can't fucking explain. We have advanced.
Really quick, how is space getting bigger?
Right. And maybe there's
space.
Maybe there's like some kind of good explanation, but I don't think you could fully wrap your head around it, bro.
Can somebody explain that to me? It's space.
Right.
How are you measuring that? Right. How do you know it got bigger?
Or how can somebody explain to me how when this world was created by whichever method you think it was created, how gravity was created so perfect that we're able to walk? Because if like gravity would have went one way or the other, we wouldn't be where we're at right now and how we're standing and how we're able to walk. Like, we'd be floating in the fucking air.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how there's a perfect amount of oxygen, all that
Dude,
stuff.
could you imagine if they never invented gravity?
Right.
I'm just kidding.
Right. Or how do you wrap your head around how gravity is currently in its form? You know what I mean? So, like, to me, that's what kind of makes it interesting. There's got to be something that's constructed all of this that's definitely smarter than us.
It's like, bro, the Big Bang. I'm like, oh, yeah, so nothing caused that.
Right.
Nothing made that happen.
Or what if it is AI and the whole time, bro, and AI just made us go through this stupid phase because they knew that we would bring it back eventually. We would beg for it to come back, and here we are. We're bringing AI right back into our lives. We're like, all right, you guys don't need us?
I genuinely believe like the Bible's 7-day stories of creation is so close to what happened.
Yeah.
I think God spawned in and was like, okay, let's make a planet.
Something definitely created something.
And he's like, when I'm building this shit, what am I going to need in my society?
Sure.
So it was trial and error. And there was some fucked up history because motherfucker wasn't done yet.
Right,
he was building the shit the right way. So it wasn't like oh, fuck those people, I don't want them to live. It was like bro, hold on, y'all be back. Y'all just be way cooler next time. And then like he made him smart. Like he had to evolve the common thought process of the capable of humans.
He's also evolved pedophiles and scammers.
That's just it. Maybe that's just it. Maybe he just created the opportunity for anything to exist rather than everybody being the equal medium of nothing. Because if all are the same, then all are nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what I mean? No, you can't all be talented. It's impossible.
Yeah. Well, again, even just that alone, the fact that we're all kind of uniquely constructed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, kind of almost shows that there is an author behind it. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
I totally agree. But my point is like, if he's building it, the arguments of like, why would this be that way? Why would this be this way? You have to have equal extremes to every situation, because if you don't, then the best stories can never be constructed. And I think genuinely, like, the society is like an equal percent of everything's type of being a storyline. Like, everything could be someone else's story, and the stories can't conflict.
Oh, now you're saying some crazy
shit. Think about that shit, bro.
Now you're saying
think about that shit,
bro.
That's a conspiracy theory.
See, I don't even want to think about that because, again, my brain can't wrap around that.
That could be crazy. I'm not even saying that's what's happening.
I like to keep my brain pretty simple. When I start thinking about that, I'm like, yeah, you know, I don't know if I can think about that. So I'm just going to go back to being stupid.
Yeah.
Or, for lack of better words, retarded.
I was just going to say, sometimes you just
got to be retarded, baby. A little retardedness ain't bad, you know what I'm saying?
Speaking of retards, I've loved every interview I've done down here, but I do want to close up this interview. I have one last question for you today.
Hit me with it.
I want to know what you want to be remembered as, both as a person and as a comic, when it's all said and done.
That's a good question. I think as a person, I would just want to be known as someone who, anytime you were around, you just kind of remember having a good time with that person. So I think that would be kind of cool because that's what I strive for nowadays. As a comic, I want to be known as someone who wasn't held back and was allowed to test every boundary they could in order for them to be as authentic as possible. That's kind of like what I want in the comedy career, just for me to be myself and not necessarily being held back from what I want to do.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where can the people find you?
I'm on Instagram as Well-Fed Comic.
Well-Fed Comic on Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you so much for your time, my friend.
Yes, sir.
I really appreciate you.
Yeah, bro.
Have a phenomenal night.
All right, man.